Oh, help desk. Okay. No. All right. We are on. And okay, we are on Facebook too, but not okay. All right, guys. Hope everyone's doing great here. Today we're going to talk about when to drop an unhelpful habit. So my question to you is, do you have any unhelpful habits? And if you do, what are they? You know, put them in the chat if you have anything habits that you're really trying to drop right now. I'd love to hear what they are. Welcome, welcome. Anything you're trying to drop. It could be social media. It could be certain foods. It could be just trying to see the chat here. Just trying to see the chats. I don't know. Preset pin command. Okay. I don't know what this is. Okay. I'm not seeing your comments here. I don't know why. In any case, if you're listening, put in the chat any habit that you're trying to drop right now. This is a big time of year where people trying to undo the things that aren't working and trying to add things that are working. Maybe, okay. I'm just going to put a title here. So you guys are there. Okay. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So I have 5 powerful ways that you can do that. Things that have really worked for me very well. So if you're trying to drop anything, stick around. And also I will be talking about how to add new ones, probably at a different point, but I'm going to be including that in this as well for a little bit. So the first thing is, how's it going? Is it hard to drop unhelpful habits? I know for me, I've had a lot of difficulty with it over the years, and that's why I'm doing this video. So to talk about 5 ways you can support yourself. And also, if you have any ways that you have kind of conquered that, if you've been able to change habits, you've been able to drop the ones that aren't working for you, I would love to hear about it. So put them in the comment section. Okay. So the first one is sort of what we're talking about, which is how challenging it can be and how it's easy to make it an excuse to beat yourself up. I know that because I've done it, and I've witnessed clients and friends and colleagues really just beat themselves up, whether it's calling themselves weak or not having good willpower, or there's something wrong with me, or I'm destined to live this way, that they really beat themselves up. And I just want to say, dropping things that aren't healthy for you takes patience and consistency. And it's not even your fault. It's just stuff you've developed over time for a whole host of reasons. You know, it could be stuff that your family's done that you're picking up, whether they are beliefs, attitudes, behaviors, ways of thinking, schools of thought that either society or your family has basically been programmed into you. So it's not your fault. And so I really encourage you to have some compassion for yourself. meaning treating yourself as you would your own best friend, someone you really adore and you really love unconditionally. And look at it that way, that you are the person you love and adore and care for and you want the best for. And that's the attitude that and the state of being that really needs to be in place for you to make any change, and especially things like habits. Okay, so here's the one I talked about this week in my weekly newsletter that I think is really important. And it is something that I realized eating things that had a lot of sugar, that I really loved, but they weren't doing me any good. So this could apply to anything. It doesn't have to be sugary food. And in fact, if that's not your issue, don't worry about it, but you can apply this to anything. So one of the things I realized was I would have this habit of eating the high sugar chocolate or creme brulee in this case, or a number of different desserts. And I'd have literally, I could feel it right away, at certain times of the day, usually the evening after a meal. And I wasn't hungry. I knew I wasn't hungry, but I wanted that, and I even would joke, this has nothing to do with hunger. Like there's always room for dessert. And the thing is, that worked well for me for a long, long time until it stopped working for me. What I noticed was I didn't sleep well. I would feel lousy afterwards, not just psychologically or mood-wise, but my body physically would not feel good. There were a whole host of ways that I just didn't feel as good afterwards as I did if I didn't have that. So one of the things that I learned over the years through people helping me and mentoring me and talking about the physiology of this is if I can remember how I feel after, during, and after I do that thing or have that thing that's not helpful to me, a lot of times that will help me to make a different decision. So once again, it's not about beating yourself up. It's just looking ahead to the consequences of what you're doing and deciding for yourself, making it a choice about whether you're going to do that thing or not. So it doesn't have to be food related. Like I said, it could be any habit. It could be scrolling on TikTok or whatever. It could be having that cigarette. It could be having a drink. It could be getting into an argument. It could be binge TV watching. Whatever the behavior, the habit is that is not helping you, to remember what it feels like when you do it and after you do it can really be a powerful way to not only help you pause, but help you make a decision that's going to be helpful. So put in the comments if this makes sense to you and if you understand what I mean, or if you've done that and what has happened. I would love to hear that. Okay. So have self-compassion, number one. Try to remember the negative consequences of what you're doing. And also remember the positive consequences. So what are the pros and cons of what you're doing? It's just kind of pre-planning the positive and negative pros and cons of what you're doing, and then making a decision. That's what freedom is when you can clearly see what's going on and make a decision from not just the emotional, not just the impulsive, not just the automatic. Okay, here's the next one. This is a tricky one, guys, so brace yourselves. A lot of unhelpful habits are about avoiding, dismissing, numbing emotions that you don't want to feel. Okay, a lot of them are. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. So for instance, if you're scrolling because you're feeling anxious or you're feeling bored, but you don't want to scroll anymore because it's not really helping you, then you have to be willing to feel that anxiety or boredom that you're avoiding. Because it's what you're doing is not sustainable and it usually doesn't help. And those feelings just don't go away automatically. They usually come back another time. So it's kind of like putting a Band-Aid on a gushing wound instead of healing the wound. So you have to be willing, figure out, it could be your journaling, it could be noticing when you're about to do the thing, how you're feeling before you do it, how you're feeling when you're doing it, how you feel afterwards, noticing your emotional states, how they change. And then make a decision. Are you willing to feel those emotions? If you're willing to feel those emotions, then it's so much easier, because then you go, okay, I'm just going to feel those emotions now, and then choose differently. That's freedom. There's a lot of freedom on the other side of that. When you're willing to feel and process the emotions that you've been avoiding your whole life, that's freedom. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Okay. Here's the next one, because people have been bringing this up when I've talked about this subject before. Yes. Find replacements that are healthier than what you're doing. Because often what happens is you want to drop an unhealthy thing, but there's a period of time. What do you do with that time? Right? Well, you replace it with something healthier. Okay. So maybe instead of scrolling, you're taking a walk. Instead of soda, you're drinking water. Instead of smoking, you're doing some sit-ups. I don't know what the healthier is for you. That's a very personal decision and one to really think about. But having a replacement for the habit that you want to drop is really important. Otherwise, you don't know what else to do, and then you go back to the old way because that's easier. And you don't want to feel those emotions, so you need something. Okay, let me know if this is making sense as you're listening to this, whether it's live or recorded. Just put something in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys think of this. Okay, last one, number 5. Get support and have accountability. So it doesn't have to be a coach, but some sort of support. Excuse me, I keep burping. I just had lunch. Okay, some sort of support. A friend who is positive and wants to help you and is not just going to give you advice or is going to annoy you or make you feel bad about yourself. You want someone who's positive, who's going to support you and encourage you and believes in you. Or a mentor, or a sponsor, or a coach, or a therapist. Whoever it is, just get support. Because depending on what you're trying to drop right now, or what you're in the process of dropping, you're probably going to have good days and bad days with it. And you're may feel discouraged, and you may feel like this is never going to go. We've all been there. And it's really helpful to have people in your life who have maybe been through something like this. They've done it. They have a little perspective. They believe in you. They support you, and they encourage you. And if they're people who are professional people who do this for a living, they may have some ideas that I don't have or you haven't thought of. And then accountability. Accountability, man, is so underestimated or underappreciated, and it's huge. It's huge. I belong to several groups of people who help me keep accountable, and I help them keep accountable. It's really helpful to have communities that go, hey, did you do that thing you said you were going to do? Or how did it go with the tough conversation? A lot of times, accountability groups are what actually get you to do the thing. For instance, I have told my accountability chicks, I call them the accountability chicks, that I am starting a new exercise program that I've wanted to do for a long time. And I feel like a program is going to be that support. It has an expert in it, and I'm using them for accountability. And so far, I've been really successful because I report to them. I say, hey, I did my walk today. Hey, I did my workout today. And then they go, yay, good for you. And they help celebrate. They support. To me, that really works well. Sometimes people don't need those groups and they can be accountable to themselves without any of that support, and that's fine. So you got to figure out you. If you've been trying to do it on your own and it's too hard, use the accountability group. They really work well. So self-compassion, remembering how it usually goes, the pros and cons of that. Be willing to feel the emotions that you've been avoiding by doing this unhelpful habit. Have replacements that are healthier. And then get support and accountability. So let me know in the chat, whether you're watching this live or recorded, what you think about these things. Have you tried them? Do you have something that you use that is even better? Are you excited about trying these different ways? And then finally, I just want to encourage you, if you haven't already, to join this Facebook group that I have called Calm Mom Alliance. If you're a mom who's stressed out and you're juggling a lot of balls in the air, I feel like it's one of the best groups ever. And I belong to a lot of groups because it has so many moms who are dedicated to growth and being happier, because they know when they're happier, everything goes better. And kids want happy parents. So that's how they feel safe. So if you want to have a better relationship with your kids, if you want to do better at parenting, take care of yourself. Come to the Calm Mom Alliance, connect with the other moms there. We have events every week that are free. And then you also get to meet other professional women who do a whole host of things that you may need or you may want to network with. That's another great thing about this group, is that we really promote moms who help moms. And then if you're already part of the group, but you're looking for something to help calm your physiology, I have a free rapid stress reliever that's just right on my website. It's my free gift to you. And you can get it just by putting your information into my website, Becoming Awake, and I will send you that video so that you can learn that technique that's really going to help you just relieve your stress. And you can use it all day long in the grocery store, online at the bank, in your work, at home. Okay, so I just want to end with this. Look, being a professional mom can be really hard. I know it because I am. It can suck at times, but it also can be one of the best adventures of your life. And life gets way better and easier when you befriend yourself and advocate for yourself, when you believe in yourself and you have a supportive community, and when you can laugh at what usually drives you crazy, because you're worth it. So here's to you. Have a great day, everybody. Tomorrow at at 11 Eastern is Funny Fridays, where you can come and laugh at whatever has been going on in your week. And we do lots of fun exercises to help you find the funny in your week, your day, or this moment. So have a great week, and I will see you next Thursday.